Hi, my name is Kevin Orlando, and in this video I'm going to talk about the chapter 4, which is communities and ecosystems. The topics that I'm going to explain are climate, niche and communities, interactions, succession, biomes, and aquatic ecosystems. In our first topic, first we have to distinguish between weather and climate. Weather is the day-to-day conditions on Earth's atmosphere, and on the other hand, climate refers to the average conditions over long periods of time. The global climate is shaped by many factors, including the solar energy that is trapped in the biosphere, the latitude, and the transport of heat by winds and ocean currents. Solar energy and greenhouse effect. The main force that shapes our climate is solar energy that arrives as sunlight and strikes the Earth's surface. There exist gases called greenhouse effect. They function like a glass in a greenhouse, allowing visible light to enter but trapping heat. This phenomenon is called greenhouse effect. If greenhouse gas concentrations rise, they trap more heat, so Earth warms. Latitude and solar energy. The curvature of Earth causes the same amount of solar energy to spread out over a much larger space near the poles than near the equator. This difference in heat distribution creates three different climate zones: tropical, temperate, and polar. Heat transport in the biosphere. The unequal distribution of heat across the globe creates wind and ocean currents which transport heat and moisture. Our second topic is the niche. So, what is a niche? Organisms occupy different places in part because each species has a range of conditions under which it can grow and reproduce. These conditions help define where and how an organism lives. What is tolerance? Tolerance is the ability to survive and reproduce under a range of environmental circumstances, and each species has its own range of tolerance. Understanding niche is important to understanding how organisms interact to form a community. The niche can be divided in three aspects: the resources of the niche that refer to any necessity of life, the physical aspects of the niche that involves all the biotic factors it requires for survival, and the biological aspects of the niche that involves the biotic factors it requires for survival. How does competition shape communities? When organisms attempt to use the same limited ecological resource in the same place at the same time, competition occurs. The competitive exclusion principle states that no two species can occupy exactly the same niche in exactly the same habitat at exactly the same time. Dividing resources. Instead of competing for similar resources, species usually divide them. Predation, herbivory, and keystone species. Predator-prey relationships. An interaction in which one animal captures and feeds on another animal is called predation. Herbivore-plant relationships. It is an interaction in which one animal, that is called the herbivore, feeds on producers, such as plants, and this process is called herbivory. What is a keystone species? A keystone species is an organism that can cause dramatic changes in the structure of a community. What is a symbiosis? It is any relationship in which two species live closely together. There exist three main classes of symbiotic relationships in nature: mutualisms in which both benefit, parasitisms in which the parasite obtains all or part of its nutritional needs from the host organism. Commensalism. It is a relationship in which one organism benefits and the other one is neither helped nor harmed. Our third topic is succession. Succession is a series of more or less predictable changes that occur in a community over time. Succession that begins in an area with no remains of an older community is called primary succession. Sometimes existing communities are not completely destroyed by disturbances. In these situations where a disturbance affects the community without completely destroying it, it is called secondary succession. Succession after natural disturbances. Natural disturbances are common in many communities, and secondary succession in healthy ecosystems following by natural discordances often reproduce original climax community. Succession after human-caused disturbances. Ecosystems in this case may or may not recover from existing human-caused disturbances. Our fourth topic is biomes. Defining biomes. Biomes are described in terms of abiotic factors like climate and soil type, and biotic factors like plant and animal life. There exist several biomes: the tropical rainforest, the tropical dry forest, the tropical grassland, the desert, the temperate grassland, the temperate woodland and subshrubland, the temperate forest, the coniferous forest, the boreal forest, and the tundra. Other land areas. Because they are not easily defined in terms of a typical community of plants and animals, mountain ranges and polar ice caps are not usually classified into biomes. Mountain ranges. They exist on all continents and in many biomes. Mountain conditions vary with elevation. Polar ice caps border the tundra and are cold year-round. Our last topic is aquatic ecosystems. Conditions underwater. Aquatic organisms are affected primarily by the water's depth, the temperature, flow, and amount of dissolved nutrients. The water depth strongly influences aquatic life because sunlight penetrates only a relatively short distance through water. Temperature and currents. Currents in lakes and oceans can dramatically affect water temperature because they can carry water that is significantly warmer or cooler. Freshwater ecosystems. Freshwater ecosystems can be divided into three main categories: rivers and streams, lakes and ponds, and freshwater wetlands. What is a estuary? Estuaries serve as spawning and nursery grounds for many ecological and commercially important fish and shellfish species including blueshit, striped bass, shrimp, and crabs. The marine ecosystems. Ecologists typically divide the ocean into zones based on depth and distance from the shore. It is divided into the intertidal zone, the coastal zone, and the open ocean.